Breaking news report right now. Disney and Verizon just announcing that they will award bonuses to employees using savings from the Republican tax bill. This is America's biggest bank. JP Morgan says it will use the money, roughly $20 billion, to invest in its business in the U.S. and to raise wages over the next 5 years. The bank also plans to open 400 new branches across the country. And what does that mean? Jobs. Lots of them. They start to add up after a while, and these bonuses do too. My next guest says another example this is of the president's pro-growth policy and how it's making its way into the real economy. Joining me right now, Belpointe Chief Strategist David Nelson. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you.
All right, so you like it. The other side would say, oh, okay, great. You've got these bonuses. It's a one-time thing. You know, maybe wages are going up. At what point, when the economy starts to slow, and all economies at some point start to slow, right? It's a cyclical thing. If we hit a little bit of a bump, do the companies then take it away and people are left right back where they started?
I don't think so, because you can't take wages back. You know, once you make a wage hike, it's going to be in there for a number of years. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon, he would not be doing this if he did not see the light at the end of the tunnel at least 5 years out. So I think the dynamic's really changing, Trish. I think you know, Americans on both sides of the political aisle are really starting to get excited about the prospects of an improving economy. Now, they may say this is the Obama economy, and I get that. That's just politics, you know, and that's nonsense. But it doesn't even matter anymore. The news is that it's good news, and that's great for everyone.
Well, it's a seismic shift, right? If you think about it, for the first time in decades, we've actually gotten some meaningful tax reform. And for corporations, this is found money. They didn't necessarily think, even when Donald Trump was elected, that they were actually going to see a tax cut, because it's kind of a hard thing to get through. Yeah,
and in your lead, and you just mentioned, you know, maybe $1 trillion worth of companies out there that are doing this. It's not just JP Morgan. Now you have Disney and others are taking.
Disney and Verizon. Disney, by the way, is given money. Not cash, but, you know, checks, and Verizon is giving out stock.
I think the most exciting part of this JP Morgan news is that they're actually reversing a trend. They're actually opening branches. And it's important to know that about 25% of JP Morgan's branches are in low-income communities, and a branch touches like 6,000 families. You know, it touches 450 small-time businesses. That's great news for our economy, and this is just part of the juggernaut that is moving along here. It's going to take a lot to slow this down.
It's exciting. It's
really
exciting to see. Let me get to a topic that you and I have been all over. And our competition over in New Jersey, which today was broadcasting from Switzerland, addressed this issue of carried interest with private equity investors. You know, I've made the point over and over again, David, that there's such an opportunity there. You have, by some estimates, up to $180 billion over 10 years that basically is there for us. I mean, it's, dare I say, almost criminal, the idea that some of these investors are getting away with treating their income as investment when it is not, in fact, investment. Anyway, David Rubenstein, who is, of course, a big private equity guy, was asked about this by our competitors. Watch it.
Sure.
You said that one of the things you do when you interview is try and get a rise out of people. So I think that gives me a little bit of license to needle you a little bit about carried interest. That is
I couldn't hear about what subject?
About carried interest, if you didn't hear.
Carried interest doesn't raise that much money. It's not something that raises a lot of money for the federal
government. It shouldn't be because we do well and because we don't raise a lot of money, we should ignore it.
Yeah, well, and he said, well, there are so many other things you can be looking at, bigger issues that I would deal with if I were running the tax code. And it was kind of left there. So she went a little soft on him. But I would not have gone so soft, by the way, on him. Because this gentleman has gotten away with a whole lot. And he's made a lot of money that, you know, and I don't begrudge the private equity industry that at all. I mean, we all are, you know, trying to make money. But it's not right when you lobby Washington so that you get preferential treatment compared to the rest of us, David.
It's not surprising that he's going to fight for this. This is a lot of money to these people. And I think what they're hoping is if they lay low and kind of stay out of the picture here, that this will just go away. It's really important for the broadcast and print media to keep this front and center. You've done a great job in this, and I applaud this network for doing that. I think the point he's missing here, he's treating, you know, income and he's trying to say it's investor capital. It's not investor capital. It's income, and it should be taxed at an income rate appropriate for the level of income this gentleman is making. David Rubenstein is making a lot of money. Yeah, but should not be taxed in the 20s.
He's effectively buying himself a tax cut.
Look, the swamp won, no question about it. They won on this one. They lobbied hard and they won this. But the president campaigned on this. I don't see why we can't go back to this.
I think it can still. I mean, you think about Geithner and how he made the move to not allow any of these shotgun corporate marriages known as tax inversions. There might be a similar interpretation on this, that in fact Mnuchin could take a hard look at our tax code here and see if it's really right what these guys are doing. Anyway, we've invited David on. I have a feeling he's not going to be running to the studio.
I'd like to
be answer these questions.
I'd like to join you.
Yours truly. Yeah, that would be fun. All right, we'll stay on him.